Good afternoon, welcome to Tutu Lifestyle Show. I'm your host Mabel, and joining me is a face I can call very much familiar. If you're a fan of classical music, I mean jazz and the combination of Kalindula, this is a face you probably come across many times, especially in our own local, industry, Zambian music industry. Joining me is the one and only Sakala. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Just tell us a little bit about you. Who is Sakala?
So, well, I don't know where to start from, but James Sakala is a musician, a soft-hearted Mukushi person. I grew up in Mukushi. I was born in Zimbabwe, and in '86 we came here in Zambia, and we went and settled in Mukushi. Yeah, so I'm not married. Yeah, those are the few things about me.
Great. So talking about your music, your type of music, which is a combination of jazz and Kalindula, why that type of music? What really inspired you to start that type?
Okay, so before I started recording that music, I used to do the Zambian popular music because I used to be a backup singer for one of these big renowned Zambian artists. Worked with them for like 3 years, and then when I stopped working for them, I wanted to record the music that sounded like their music, But then somewhere along the way, I realized that wasn't me. So I had to go back and, search within myself, like what really is in me. That's when I realized that I'm a Kalindula artist, So because when we make Kalindula now, it's a bit modern, so I decided to add some bit of jazz because I've always loved jazz, African jazz to be specific, because I listen to Certificate, a lot of South African, jazz musicians. Yeah, so that's how this music came along. And I always say I didn't choose this music, it chose me, because when it comes without any effort, it means it's in you. So you didn't choose it.
So you didn't put in a lot of effort at all. It just came out naturally.
It just flows out.
Nice.
Yeah, it flows out.
Nice. I like that it just flows out. I understand you are a songwriter, producer, a sensational, guitarist. How do you balance, having so much things to do and just have the playtime at your own time?
So what I do is not something I didn't go to school to learn it. It's inborn. Like I was born with sorry. I was born with these gifts, so I don't really find it difficult to balance it with my own playtime, because I don't like playing. Most of the times,
But you really don't like playing.
I don't like playing. Like I don't have anything out there to do apart from being in studio, working on either writing or practicing on my guitar or practicing on percussion. Yeah.
But you do have friends, don't you?
I do.
So what do you do when you meet up as boys?
Mostly we just go eat somewhere.
Okay.
And we go back to our things.
Normally men like their soccer, they love to, just do things which are more engaging at a different level, more macho stuff, Soccer is one of the things.
Yeah, I'm not a soccer fan.
Wow.
The only sport I ever did was actually when I was in grade 12, and a few years after high school was volleyball. Yeah, I played a lot of volleyball. I was actually in a competitive team in Mukushi, back in Mukushi. But I'm a karateka, I'm a second dan black belt. Okay. So I'm in two arts. When I'm not doing music, I am doing martial arts. Yeah.
Okay. So still music, because this is who you are. This is what defines James Sakala. I'm always looking forward to understand a little bit deeper on the music, the instrument, the style. What are the things you find really interesting, also challenging when it comes to the music you do, especially in Zambia? Have people really embraced that type 100%, or maybe they're still growing? We are in the growing process of accepting that particular type of music.
Okay, so I'll tell you one thing about the type of music I do. The first thing I'll mention is that we are very few that do this music. I know myself, I know Mumbayachi, I know Teresa Ngambi, I know Mutinta. And then we have our parents, Maureen Landa, the Sakala brothers, Angela Nyirenda, to mention but a few. So if you look at that community, we are very few. We are just like a handful. You know what I mean? One thing I know that happened back in the days is maybe like early 90s when we lost the Picket Shalas, the Mlemenas, the Pongos, the whatever. That music sort of like went into what word can I use? Like it disappeared
Yes.
a bit. And then the new wave came out, which was the JKs, the Dadzimas, and the Danis, and they brought this new sound. So because they've been around for the past 20 years, they've managed to sell that as Zambian music. And this is why you find like most young people that come out or that come out, they want to do music. That's the first sound they have because they've grown up listening to that. You know, I remember I was young when JK came out. I wasn't very young, obviously, but I was young. I was still in school. So that's the music I knew. But because I've got an old soul, I discovered this other music that it was in me and I pursued it. But there's very few people that have that are like me. You know what I mean? So most people are born talented, but this is the music that has inspired them over the years. So they want to do that music. So it's not really about people embracing it. It's because generations have changed, you know. So the generation that we are living in now know this sound. So to take them back to the Picket Shalas and whatever we are doing now, it's sort of like a bit strange for them. But they know that's yes, that's where we're coming from. But they feel like it's old school, you know what I mean? But there's nothing like old school when it comes to music.
I love jazz.
Yeah, there's nothing like old school when it comes to music. It's just a preference, a sound preference. So yeah, so this is why we are like I always have these light conversations with Mumbayachi because he's actually my good friend. So we talk about personalizing, selling this sound to the new generation so they can fully embrace it.
Talking about brand and emerging the two, brand and also this type of music, how do the two relate?
There's one time I was chatting with I was chatting with what's his name, Peterson because I in the many things that I do, production and whatever, I work with many different artists. So I had this conversation with Peterson. He's my big brother. I learn. Each time I talk to these guys, I have a chance. It's a chance for me to learn new things.
Yeah.
So when we were having a conversation about something, but to do with music, then there's something that he mentioned to me that stuck on my mind. He said, "Ule komboka."
Meaning what?
Like you should be knocking off.
Oh, okay.
Music is an office. It's our work.
Okay.
You know, when you are working, there's a certain way you look. When you're at home, there's a certain way you look.
True.
You know what I mean? So, muntu onsafirade komboka. You know, there has to be time for your work and it's time for your own programs. Yeah. So when I'm off stage, you don't expect me to be in the James Sakala gear, you know, selling the James Sakala brand everywhere. No. It doesn't make sense. For me, that's for me. I've seen there's some artists that look the same on stage and off stage. For me, I would, as long as I'm clean, I'm presentable, it should be me. And then on stage, I also need to represent the brand. Yeah.
I like that. If there is one person you would actually want to meet in Zambia, who would that person be and why?
I still haven't met the president.
Okay, I haven't met him too.
Not because I want to meet him, not because he is the president, but because I would love to have a conversation with him how he's managed to achieve a lot of things and how he just manages to hold on to something and believe, you know, dream, hold on, believe and achieve. You know what I mean?
Strong words.
Because if you look at what he has achieved, like he's got a lot of businesses, he's got a lot of investments, he's got a lot of shares in a lot of things, you know. He's managed over the years to hold on and become the president, you know. So yeah.
So what should we expect now moving forward from James Sakala? Music, you know, drama. I know you're also into drama.
Yeah.
What should we expect?
A lot of projects. I mean, you know, I was mentored by the late Oliver Mtukudzi. There's one thing that he said to me. He said, you are young. You only have one album to your name. You are still growing. Make as many songs as you can. Don't get tired. Each time you get a chance to go in studio, write, produce, record, you know. one day when you die, those are the things that will keep your name going, you know. Today, Oliver Mtukudzi is gone. It's been 3 years, but we think about him like he's still alive because we listen to his music. People perform his songs everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. So a lot of projects.
Nice.
Yeah.
And also, there's one more question which somebody forwarded to us on our social media.
Okay.
There's always this myth. I like to call it a myth because I'm not fully aware of what goes on in the entertainment industry, especially music, to say. There isn't really much money. There isn't much of a career. I don't know how true is it, but being an artist, I'm sure you also have your own stance on that. Is it true?
It's half and half.
It's half and half.
Yeah, it's half and half. It's true to a certain level. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of money.
I like that.
There's a bit of okay, but you know the truth is, our industry doesn't have money because it's not even an industry. The way it's set up, it's more of I wouldn't say a joke because if it was a joke, I don't like joking every day.
Yeah.
But I wake up to do the industry every day. You know what I mean? So it's not properly organized to make us, the musicians, a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's like everyone operates on their own. Like you just wake up and you figure out what move you're going to do next. For example, our friends, like for example in SA, the system protects them. You know, I remember applying for the what you call this? The Durban, is it the Durban Jazz Festival? I've forgotten. But there's a jazz festival that happens, the big jazz festival that happens in South Africa. I remember applying. When they responded, the year they responded to me, I think it was 2017. Yeah, they responded to me and asked me what difference I was gonna bring on that stage to give them a reason to pick me because they prioritize their musicians. So for them, whether you are known or you are not known, as long as you've come out and you want to do this, you are registered under SAMRO and they are in whatever registration, like the way we have National Arts Council here and ZAM, they also have their bodies that side. So if you are registered, they will give you a chance to get on a big stage and they will leave out that international act who's bigger, way bigger than you.
That's a really strong support system. But
yes.
Why do you think it's not the same here in Zambia? I mean, we can talk about South Africa for those reasons, and also Nigeria. Nigeria has got a strong foundation and a strong support system, but why is it somehow, to some extent, we haven't built that in Zambia yet?
Well, I wouldn't know the reason, but I think over the years we have made our industry a joke. You see politicians come and they take advantage of the music business and they just use it and dump it. You know, so in our mindsets and every person's mindset out there, they just think music is a joke. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I received a call from a client. They were asking me, okay, I'm in a meeting here with my relatives. My young brother is having a wedding on this Saturday, on the 2nd of April. How much do you charge? So I asked them, do you want full band or acoustic? They said, give us both. So I told them, for full band is this much, acoustic is this much. Then they asked me, then the man asks me at where's your friend? I said, which friend? That guy Namadingo, the one from Malawi. I said, oh, he's in Malawi. When is he coming? I said, he might be here this week. Then this man says, good. So we are going to pay for the acoustic, but just make sure you come with your friends. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, if you are thinking about a musician and you want to invite them to your function, whatever function it is, think about them like you are hiring, say, Trade Kings to supply you with boom, or you know what I mean, like their products. Because music is not, it's not a joke for us. You know what I mean? It's not like chakwanga shabana. You know what I mean? It's an office for us. When you're talking to me as a musician, you're talking to an office. You know, if you want my services, I will bring them at a fee. Unless I am the one that has decided to come and bless your event, because we know each other like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but is there hope moving forward still?
There is hope. all we need to do is, it should start with us musicians, because at the end of the day, even us, we haven't done much to change the narrative. You know what I mean? We contribute to people making us look like a joke. So we need to clean up, organize ourselves, understand our value, stop performing for crates, yamova, and those small things.
Does somebody ever come to you and offer for you such a thing as a crate?
Well,
Does it come before?
not really, unless they've seen me drinking somewhere, but I don't. You know what I mean? But there's incidents where someone will call you and ask you, and then, for example, you charge them 10,000 kwacha for 3 songs, and they will say, anyway, but I got this and this, and they mention a bigger artist than you for just 5,000 kwacha. You know what I mean? Because to them, we look unorganized. If they called me, I tell them 10,000. They go to a bigger artist, the artist says the same or even more. They go to a smaller, younger artist, the artist says the same. They will know that we talk, we dialogue, so we have the same information. So they would start taking us serious. But we don't share ideas. When we call for these meetings and workshops, people don't show up because maybe they feel they are bigger, they can't come and sit where James Sakala is talking. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so all these things, our friends take these things serious, especially workshops and master classes and whatnot. You saw that master class.
It was amazing.
An international act comes who signed a two times Grammy winner, signed under Quincy Jones, calls for a free master class, and no one shows up. There's only young people and just a few musicians. Do you call that seriousness?
No. But moving forward, just in case if there's somebody who's watching and would love to actually be the next James Sakala in the next 10 years or 5 years, what is your advice to that young woman or man out there?
They shouldn't be James Sakala.
In case they want to embrace your music.
Well, they can embrace my music, but they shouldn't be James Sakala, because it takes a lot to be James Sakala. I've gone through a lot of things, unless you are ready to go through everything I went through. So if you want to do music and you know that you have it inside you, work hard, shape yourself in the direction you want to go. It's never easy. There's a lot of ups and downs, and actually there's more downs than ups.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you have to wake up, face those challenges. I mean, if I tell someone that I used to walk from Kanyama to Charleston to go and sit outside a studio from 11 to 16 and not get a chance to record, and walk back, get home at 21 after 2 days, because I get tired, so the following day I can't walk back, so I'll pass a day, and the third day I'll walk to the studio again, same routine. You don't want to experience that, but you have to be ready. If it comes, you have to be ready to face it. Yeah.
So before you go, it's been an amazing chat. Before you go, we always love to hear you sing. Yeah. I know you always were telling me about, you had a little chord in the background, but we don't mind really. We just want to hear you sing.
I don't know what I'll sing for you. It's difficult for musicians like me. So this is what I will explain. I've always told people that I'm not really a singer.
Oh.
I am a poet who adds melody to their poetry. So if you listen to my music, I'm a storyteller. This is why I'm James Sakala, the Zambezi griot. So a griot is a storyteller. So
and there's a name you're not on. Is it Nguzi? There's a nickname people give you. I'm better off not going into that.
I don't know. Maybe
there's a common name, there's a famous name. Once I get a hold of it, once I remember it's 40, I'll share it.
You share, all right.
There's a common name.
Okay.
You're called on. I don't know if you're aware, but I think
no, I'm not. No, maybe I don't know.
I'm aware. How come you're not?
I don't know.
Once it comes to mind,
sometimes people will mention these names behind you, like.
I know. I'm one of the people who know about your nickname, and you don't.
I don't. So you should share so that I know what I'm called out there.
I will,
and hopefully it means something nice.
No, it is a good name. It's just that I can't say it right now, but it is a good name. It's a traditional name. It means something powerful.
Okay.
So there you had it. We had a chat with James Sakala. It has been an amazing chat, and I hope you got inspired. And we also asked Prudence question, which was, is he single? Yes, he is. There is a chance for you. Shoot your shots. Don't be lazy.
All right, all right.
So I'm against the woman going after a man. But I
Why?
would encourage you
But
to try
why?
your luck.
But why?
We are meant to be pursued.
Oh,
We're not
really?
supposed to go after men. No, that is just my myth, and I think it works for me.
Okay.
Yes, I would always encourage you to, try your luck.
I think that's a conversation for another day, so I won't say anything.
But Prudence, he's all yours. Try your luck, and we're gonna let him give us a free little small, test of what his music is all about. Or if he wants to give us poetry, he can give us poetry as well.
No, 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 no.
So look forward to that in a little bit while. And remember, we are Ututi Zambian on Facebook. We are Ututi Zambian on also YouTube, Instagram, and also Twitter. So from us and James Sakala, make sure you look out for what he's gonna sing for us or poetry. Yeah. So we'll see you in a snap.